I'm sharing this, and it's so funny because sometimes people just won't accept this. It's like in the scriptures when for the people to be healed, they just had to look upon the staff, but some wouldn't do it because it was just too simple. And what I'm sharing with people now is a formula financially to change their life. And but they're like, but that's not. I want to know where to get money tomorrow. I know you do, and I'm telling you, I've been broker than you.
That's your cancer, right?
I've been broker than you. Just pretend that's true if you don't believe me. I've been broker than you. I've been just as frustrated as you. I've been so broke I contemplated, doing things that no human being should contemplate doing to get money. And I never contemplated anything seriously evil, but I contemplated stealing money before. I contemplated I sold my body. I sold plasma. That's about the only way I could sell my body.
I know people that sell organs, like part of their liver.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. But anyway, so step one, turn on your brain, okay, and you fill your brain with good information, and then step two is you're writing this. I guess it's kind of step 1A, turn on your brain and receive information, and part B is to get it out and write out the challenge that you've got to overcome, okay, and then. This is tricky, okay? Kind of C of that is go back to reading. And what you're doing is you're asking yourself questions, how am I going to do that? How am I going to accomplish this? And as you read, ideas will come to your mind. It's very important you write down those ideas. And you can call it revelation, you can call it inspiration, you can call it magic, for all I care. It's irrelevant to me at this point in the conversation. But what you want to do is you want to write down ideas that come. Now, you could broaden your reading at this point to include reading on the subject matter that has to do with your challenge. So if your challenge has to do with money, if you can find a principle-based author that has to do with money, that'd be a good thing to do. If it has to do with relationships and you can find a principle-based author that writes about relationship, that's good. If it has to do with business building and you can find a good principle-based author on business building, that's good. What you want to do is you want to take that question that you've got, maybe read it and then read for 15 minutes asking yourself, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to make this happen? And you jot down those ideas. Once you get a number of those ideas jotted down, you can get out of the reading and go back to your page and you can start organizing your thoughts. And it's important, if you get stuck, that this is what you do. You're organizing your ideas on the page. You don't want to start organizing your ideas in your head. A lot of you do this. A lot of you go home and you think all day long about how you're going to get out of debt, or you think all day long about how you're going to build a business. But what happens is you're not good yet at structuring ideas in a concrete way that are going to be there when you come back tomorrow, because your idea is just going to be messy again tomorrow because you're not disciplined. And so what happens is you lose it. By writing it down, it's there. Have you seen the movie recently with Sandra Bullock where she wakes up and it's the different day and her husband's dead, and then she wakes up and it's a different day but it's a day before and her husband's alive, and then she wakes up and it's a different day and it's a day after, and it's a really interesting show. It's not the greatest show in the world, but it's really interesting because what happens is a week of her life gets screwed up. And she wakes up and it's Monday, and then she wakes up and it's Thursday, and then she wakes up and it's Wednesday, and then she wakes up and it's Friday, and then she wakes up and it's Tuesday, and then she wakes up and it's Saturday, and she's just going insane, right?
Yeah, that would pretty much drive me nuts.
So what she does is she gets out a calendar, a piece of paper, and she maps out her days and what happens on each given day. And she did it on a day that was the earliest in the series of hallucinations or premonitions. So every day that piece of paper is there, and she goes back and she's filling in the blanks so she can get a map in her head. Now that's what you're doing. You're mapping out ideas. Okay? It doesn't matter whether you got great ideas or not. Now again, at any given point in time, you can look for mentors. You can talk to other people. You can associate with other people, but don't skip steps A, B, and C. Steps 1, A, B, and C. Turn your brain on A, B, and C. Don't skip that. Don't substitute the things I've talked to you about by talking to other people. This is a big mistake people make. I don't know what to do. Let's go ask for advice. Oh, that sounds good. Then let's go do it. And they never have a plan. They're still basically acting like a brute. Basically the emotional response. Oh, that was good. That feels good. Do it. Oh, that feels good. Do it. And so then they go to a real estate seminar and they say, let's go invest in real estate. Then they go to a foreign exchange seminar. Let's go invest in foreign exchange. Then they go to a business training and it says, use the check cashing center. And they use the check cashing center. And then their life still sucks because what they're doing is they're not improving their mind. So their ideas still suck. And ideas have consequences. And you are where you are in life because of the way you think. And the way you think is the problem, not what you have. Or what you don't have. You think the problem is what you don't have. It's the way you think that's the problem. And I'm telling you, I love the movie Pursuit of Happiness. Oh my gosh, amazing movie, amazing story. There was a guy who was kind of brain off, a good guy, but he's kind of brain off, who'd never really been through this kind of experience, and he critiqued the movie and said that it was a horrible story about prosperity and that his life changed when he coveted a Ferrari. And I'm like, dude, you missed the whole thing. Just for those of you who know what I'm talking about, when he saw the Ferrari, he didn't say, I want the Ferrari.
No,
he said, I saw the Ferrari and I looked around and looked at all the people, and they had an expression on their face. It looked like they had something I didn't have, and I wanted that. It wasn't the Ferrari. The Ferrari is what jolted him. It's what rattled his cage to cause him to look around. Like, hey, this guy knows something I don't know. Man, the guy could have been a thief or a mass murderer driving the Ferrari. Driving a Ferrari is not the secret to life. And the fact that you're mad and you focused on it shows that you have the poison of materialism in your brain. Seriously, the person who has to walk around and tell people who are teaching what I'm teaching that it's not about the money, it's evidence that they have the poison in the brain and they're materialistic. Now, I know that's hard. Now, I'm not saying everybody who teaches it's not about the money is materialistic. I'm saying when people defend themselves by saying, well, all that stuff that Rick's teaching or all that stuff that was being taught in The Pursuit of Happiness, it's about the Ferrari, you're not getting it. You got stuck on the wrong piece of the message, and it's just evidence that your brain's working in a certain way. Ideas have consequences. Those consequences are manifesting themselves.